Kicking off the year with a quick video. I'm walking into the studio at the moment and I have a few things bouncing around in my head. These aren't New Year's resolutions. I took a few weeks off over the holidays and it gave me a chance to think about a few things. I've mentioned it before that one of the reasons for me doing all these vlogs was so that I could learn how to use the equipment and how to use the editing software, so that when I actually moved into my new studio, which I was expecting to have done by now, but spoilers, I haven't, that I'd be all ready to make the tutorial videos. Between you and me, it turns out I enjoy doing the videos a lot more than I thought I would. I've always thought of myself as a blogger and that all my content would stay on my website. Given the choice between shooting a video or writing a blog post, in the past I would have written a blog post, but now I think I'd shoot a video. I actually find writing very satisfying, but it's also quite intense and it takes me a long time. So I can either spend 3 days focusing on writing a blog post or 3 days shooting and editing a video. They both take the same length of time, but one is more enjoyable than the other. Hey, it's Future Dan here. I just wanted to clarify something. That when I say 3 days here, what I actually do is I split my days into 2 halves. So I have my morning half, which is doing things like these videos, and then I've got my afternoon half where I work on my main project, whatever it is at the time. So I don't really spend 3 whole days doing blog posts or 3 whole days editing these videos. It's kind of 3 half days. Anyway, back to the... I can't do both. I can't have a blog version and a video version as much as I would like to. That would take like 6 days. That's all my time. So I think I'm going to turn my website into more of a portfolio site where people can easily see the work. Think, oh, that's what he does. But then this YouTube channel being more talking about the artwork and more details like that, which means I'm going to end up with five different types of videos on the YouTube channel. 1, tutorials. The main idea for the channel was to do a bunch of tutorials and then some more ambient long play pen plot videos, like what is a pen plotter, how to create SVGs for pen plotting, different types of pen and paper, the code and maths behind generative art for pen plotters. That was pretty much it. These have to wait until I get into my new studio because they're going to be timeless in that people will be coming to them from Google searches. It's as simple as having something like heating, which I don't have in here, because I'm going to be shooting the videos over 8 months, and I don't want people, when they find them all in one go, to be wondering why I'm wearing like 3 jumpers and a hat and a scarf in the first video just to keep warm, but by summer I'm just wearing t-shirts. I want to kind of have that continuity through them. In the new studio, I'll always be able to stand at the same table, I'll always have the same lighting, it'll be like a constant setup. Over Christmas I got a wonderful overall and work utility apron, and I haven't decided which one is going to be my uniform yet, but I'll pick one. And then there's another aspect that's basically the making of videos. Behind the shop or the sales, behind the art, and looking behind the code. These are the ones that I would like to see, which is somebody going into all the nerdy details behind various projects, which I think is a pretty niche thing, but it's also kind of how my brain is wired. I am fascinated. I love watching artists do a deep dive into their process. And it's not something that's going to have a wide appeal, but I know if it's something that I personally like, I can't be the only one in the whole world. There's going to be other people who like that kind of very narrow focus. So anyway, I think it should be interesting. Behind the shop and sales, on my blog I used to have a monthly profit loss report that showed everything that I had spent money on and all the things I had sold, and people told me that was kind of useful for them, seeing how another artist prices things and what's going on for them. and generally make a living. Now my situation has changed slightly, so it's not quite so relevant to do monthly reports, but I still think it's useful to take a project and break it down to see what actually happened to the project. So I think I'm still going to be doing that. Behind the art. Now, this is an excuse for me to make videos talking about some of the thinking behind my art projects. Some of them might be small, quick ones. Other ones might be more involved. I recently made a blog post about my last project and people really like that, so it seems fun to do a video version of it. Behind the code part is sort of halfway between tutorials and then vlogging my actual projects, because hopefully people will find some of the code talk useful and will be able to learn from it. But at the same time, it's more temporal than the tutorials because it's about my ongoing art projects. And then more of these, more general blog things, which are blogs. 5 different topics is probably too much for one channel to support. The things I've read about YouTube and watched about YouTube suggest keeping a narrow niche and consistency are like the important things. I'm going to do neither because I'm going to be quite wide, and also I'm not sticking to a schedule. Although grouping the behind of ones into one category gives us 3 things. There's the tutorials, there's the nerdy stuff, which some people will probably skip, and then there's the vlogs, which other people will probably skip, and then there'll be some people who really like the nerdy stuff and the vlogs as well, and I kind of think that's where some of the fun is. It's certainly not a plan to grow the channel or become a YouTuber. That's not my intent at all. It's just to simply consistently make the type of videos that I would have loved to have seen when I was an artist starting out, to find out how other people do it. So that's basically my plan. Moving my own blog posts over to video is a little bit weird. I lose control of my content a bit. On the blog, I'll do about 1,000 or so views on a blog post, maybe 2,000. But on YouTube at the moment, it's about 200 to 300 views. But then I've only got like just over 400 subscribers, so maybe that'll go up, who knows. It's video editing down again. I've just finished doing the edit and I realised that the ending isn't quite how I wanted it to be. It turns out that holding a camera, walking, trying not to trip over, vlogging while thinking about what you want to say is surprisingly hard. It was supposed to be more of an upbeat ending, so it's kind of like, well, I'm going to give this a go. I'm at 400 subscribers now, just a little over. Let's see how we do this year. It should be fun. And I think that's more the ending I was going for. So let's see how we do. Bye. This studio is above a coffee shop called Hopefully Made, who are fantastic, and then they also do my screen printing for me. And now and again I get into trouble because I have this Starbucks cup in the background, but it's not actually Starbucks. That's your it's a fake Starbucks cup, so that means it's all right.